Hello, my name is Kenneth Dalton. I am a fourth-year medical student at the Florida State University College of Medicine. This is a presentation on the application that I built while I was in Creativity in Medicine with Dr. Bill Pomodoro's fourth-year elective. On the screen here, you can see his site. If you're taking this course, I'm sure you will see some variation of it. Probably will be more complete by the time you guys get to it. So we're going to start off. I'm going to kind of give you an overview of what I used, and then we'll talk briefly about the app. So there's multiple forms out there. Dr. Pomodoro provided me with a few. I came across a few with a simple Google search. I settled on Cognitoforms. These guys are great. I sent them an email. They would get back to me within a minute or two. Very interactive. Added any comments or questions I had to their developers. So maybe you guys will see some of the issues I talk about here resolved in the future. So basically, you can go through, you can build your forms here, and so it's kind of messy when you look at it. These are actually stringed together, and they'll make more sense when we go through the actual form on the app. You can do save down here. You have an opportunity to preview it as you go. I usually did it after each step to make sure that it was populating appropriately. Once you go over to publish, you have the opportunity to copy a link and put it straight to a web page, test out the form, and additionally, you can create a hyperlink that comes straight to this website. So what I did is I used that link to interact with the app builder site, which I used Biznez Apps. It had a 12-step that kind of walks you through how to set up an app, and then they also do an app builder. There are some instructional videos, I believe. I did not use them personally. However, it's pretty self-explanatory. There is the option to publish. I think it'll send it up to whatever perspective, whether it be Google Play or the Apple Store. I actually haven't tested that feature out yet. Dr. Pomodoro had mentioned that I could label these as in-work progresses, so that way people understand that none of this is copyright material yet. It's not anything I'm making money from, etc. So basically you go through, you can set up the design, you can set up what the tabs are, what the format, etc. And it kind of gives you a native preview over here that you can, or a preview over here that you can interact with of the actual app. It's set up to look like an iPhone, I think, normally, but you can choose between different formats. So we'll click native preview down here in the right corner. That will slowly take us to another page. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, so please excuse the delay. And so you have the option to look at it as an iPhone, an iPad. At the time of making this, the Android phone wouldn't work for me. For some reason, the screen was locked, and I didn't know the password. I didn't really go through the trouble of figuring it out. The web app is kind of how it would show up on your phone anyways. So I'll use that here for the demonstration. So when you pop up, I just kind of snag some pictures offline. Nothing too crazy here. But this is your background. You have some interactive tabs down here. This is the form I actually built, but I'll do that last once we cover the other basic stuff. And so if you look here, I have their upcoming appointments. Past is included as well. They have their previous ones that they've seen. If you go to their appointment, so the goal is to just remind people that they have an appointment, provide them with the location. Eventually there'll be more information here. Currently I just added in that you have a headache appointment scheduled. Please bring all your medications and are up to date. Eventually there'll be more information. My hope is that there will be a diagnosis that will populate here after you've seen the physician, with some links to either a printable resources, online resources, or interactive resources such as those that Dr. Pomodoro is working with. And that'll allow the patient to get a better understanding. Other things that I hope to add to it is, pharmacy location, medications, links to your online portal so you can request to have your pharmacy changed, etc. And if it's a chronic disease, so I want to be a neurologist, if say a patient had Parkinson's, I could either set up a local forum for people to chat internally behind a secure network, or alternatively set them up with something in town. And then if we go back here, back one more time, we've got clinic contact information, very generalized information here. I stole a picture of the doctor from The Simpsons. I'm not sure what these two gray blocks are here. I haven't been able to figure out how to get rid of them or do anything with them yet. I'm sure it's a tab I'm missing. Just a general filler here on the information. It has a call us option that will call straight to my clinic, directions that'll populate to your phone's navigation app, email that'll open the email, and then a website that will hopefully link them directly to our website so they can access any information they may have or questions, etc. If you go to About Us, I just put in 3 basics here. Obviously, you could do more detail. I have a few fillers. Here, who we are, which is obviously, as you can see, has not been filled out. It did let me put in my own pictures. It takes it a second to load. What I did notice, and this applies on the app as well, these are actually DNG files that I took on my digital camera, so they're rather sizable. I'm sure that affects how long it takes to load. But I did load a picture of my daughter here, just mostly for entertainment purposes. This was up at the Sausage Bradley Festival. If you're in Tallahassee, I strongly recommend that you guys visit it. And then if we go back, we have our team, same thing. People have options to put comments throughout the entire process. I think eventually I would like to take that away and kind of put it in one place so everybody can see the comments, whether it be reviews, supportive information, whatever they deem fit. And of course, this will be up to the patients. If I do choose to have a secure communication network, that obviously will not be accessible by other people to see. And then as you guys can see how slow the picture is loading here. This is a picture of my wife and daughter. Again, this is a DNG, so it's a rather sizable file. I'd imagine that's affecting on how long it's taking to load. Just giving you guys a full effect of using an actual photo. And of course, you can use smaller files like JPEGs or PNGs, I would imagine, to have it load faster. For instance, under the Our Services section, this is a JPEG, I believe. Notice it loads instantly. And then if we go back to the home page again, we have, eventually there's a review section. Hopefully people can add comments. I hope to add a social media section. The goal there is to have a place where people interact, maybe have some private chat groups, but primarily for my facility to post any upcoming fundraisers, any available conventions that may be of interest to specific subsets of patients, just so they can interact, maybe if I'm having snacks and drinks in the office, whatever that may be. And then so the form here, it's the way this app is set up, it actually links to the website, but eventually I hope to actually build the app or this process into the application. And so I've set up a really basic app. We'll go over the short ones first, and then I'll kind of dive into the longer ones. So say they were coming in for a general checkup and health maintenance. It's just okay. Anything else you would like the doctor to know prior to the visit? No, hit submit. And I provided this generic tab. This shows up on every single one after submit. It's just kind of a thank you. Eventually, this will hopefully be a link to their phone's app services so they can download the app if they're doing this online or if they're doing it from the website, because hopefully this form will be accessible from the company website as well. An online portal that it would integrate to. And then this would be, nursing services who could answer questions, and then a phone number to the office, and then encouragement to have feedback. Just real general statement here. And then I also added a copy of the form down here so that way they could see what they wrote in case they put something they didn't mean to. We can talk about it in the office. And so, we have the lab block here. It's just basically, you don't have to come in if you don't need to. Please give us a call. Anything you want to add, very similar. And then say they didn't feel well. I only did 2 here, basically carpal tunnel and a headache. So we'll do the headache to give the example. How long has this been bothering you? We'll say it's been first time this week. It happens every day though for a week, and it's my whole head that hurts. I get neck pain, but none of the rest of these seem to apply. It seems to get better when I have rest, over-the-counter headache medicine. I noticed as I was going through this, I forgot to put a none of the above feature on here, which is relatively easy to add in, but is important because, of course, people don't always have these symptoms. Same thing with this section. Say it gets worse with light and sound. And then just a block for them to kind of add anything extra. As you can see, it's not terribly detailed, but hopefully I'll be able to integrate this with my EMR one day, and perhaps it can populate certain aspects of the subjective, maybe save some clicks for me. And I'll kind of play with the complexity of it. The goal is to keep the reading level between 5th and 8th grade, so that kind of explains the simplicity of the language. And additionally, I want it to be user-friendly. Generally, my patient subset will be older, so I want to make sure that they're comfortable using technology, while most of the generation that will probably be coming to see me as a physician will be in the generation of people who have used apps and texting, etc. It's not always that obvious to them. So again, you can click submit. To give you a better idea of the form, it gives you, what you said here. These links are active. For what it's worth, you type TEL : to actually activate a telephone, and then mail to, and then : plus the email address, so that way it'll automatically populate. Thank you again for your time. I hope you guys have a great day.